Hello students, welcome to School Study. In this video, we will continue with improvements in food resources. So the topics to be covered in this video are manures and fertilizers, irrigation and cropping pattern. Let's see what is manures. So manures are organic substance obtained by the decomposition of animal excreta and plant waste. The manure include green manure, compost and farmyard manure. The process of adding manure in the soil is termed as manuring. The advantages of manure are: manures add organic matter to the soil called humus, which restores soil texture, better retention of water and aeration between soil. Manures are rich in nutrients. The general deficiency of nutrients in soil are replenished by manures. Manures does not contain any harmful chemicals. Manures improve physical properties of soil, increase moisture holding capacity of soil and help in reducing soil erosion. So these are some important advantages of manure. Now let's see what are the disadvantages of manure. Manures are bulky and required in large quantities. Manures are not nutrient specific. It is not readily soluble in water and is slowly absorbed by plants, unable to fulfill the high and rapid demand of nutrient required by plants. It is inconvenient to handle, store and transport. Manure is divided into three categories. First is farmyard manure, second is compost and third is green manure. We will see it one by one. So first is farmyard manure. Manure that is prepared by decomposition of farmyard waste such as cattle excreta, litter and leftover organic matter such as fodder, roughage, etc. are called farmyard manure. This manure contains nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. Second is compost. Manure that is prepared from kitchen wastes, weeds, sewage waste, etc. with the help of bacteria and fungi is called as compost. Third is green manure. So the manure which is prepared by decomposition of green plants which are plucked along with soil or leguminous plants such as cluster bean, this is cluster bean, and lentil is called green manure. So these two are leguminous plants and these plants help in making green manure. Let's see a method of preparing a simple compost. So first, dig a trench of about 4 to 5 meter length, 1.5 meter breadth, 1.5 meter to 1.8 meter breadth and 1.0 to 1.8 meter depth. Add a layer of biodegradable waste for about 30 centimeter thick and spread it in the trench. Third step is, now add a slurry of cattle dung and water. Fourth is, add a second layer of biodegradable waste. Then cover the pit with a thin layer of moist soil for about 3 to 4 months. After 3 to 4 months, the waste is partially decomposed. Then this partially decomposed matter took out from the trench and collect it in cone-shaped heap. Then again moist the heap with water and cover with soil. After 2 or 3 months, compost is ready to use in fields. You can use that compost in field and grow organic crops. Now let's see what are fertilizer. So fertilizer are chemical substance that are supplied to crop to increase their productivity. So manure is a natural substance and fertilizer is a chemical substance. They are used to grow healthy plants. Fertilizers supply nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium to the soil. Now, fertilizer is categorized into 6 parts. First is nitrogenous fertilizer, second is phosphatic fertilizer, third is potassic fertilizer, fourth is complex fertilizer, fifth is biofertilizer and sixth is mycorrhiza fertilizer. So first is nitrogenous fertilizer. Fertilizers that supply nitrogen to plants are called nitrogenous fertilizer as derived by the name nitrogenous. The examples include ammonium nitrate, urea, sodium nitrate, etc. Second is phosphatic fertilizer. Fertilizers that supply phosphorus to plants are called phosphatic fertilizer. The examples include D-calcium phosphate, triple superphosphate, etc. Third is potassic fertilizer. Fertilizers that supply potassium to the soil is called as potassic fertilizer. The examples include potassium sulfate, potassium nitrate, etc. Fourth is complex fertilizer. Fertilizers that supply at least 2 or more nutrients to the soil is called as complex fertilizer. Fifth is biofertilizer. Organisms, this is a natural fertilizer, organism which enrich the soil with nutrients are called biofertilizer. Biofertilizers are renewable and non-pollutant source of plant nutrients. Examples of biofertilizer include blue-green alga. Sixth is mycorrhiza. Mycorrhiza is a symbiotic association of certain fungi with roots of higher plants. Next is irrigation. What is irrigation? The process of watering crops in field at different intervals is termed as irrigation. There are various methods of irrigation such as wells, tanks, canal system, sprinkler system, etc. The advantages of irrigation are: it is necessary to provide water in fields because it helps to germinate seeds and for elongation of roots. Second is, with irrigation, cultivation can be done whole year, not only in rainy seasons. Third is, water also protects plants from hot and dry air currents. Next is cropping pattern. There are models of raising crop which help in obtaining maximum benefit. Three common types of cropping pattern are mixed cropping, intercropping, and crop rotation. First is mixed cropping. The practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously on the same piece of land is called mixed cropping. The crops are chosen in such a way that waste material from one plant help in the growth of the other. Second is intercropping. The practice of growing two or more crops simultaneously in the same field in definite row patterns with objective of increasing productivity is called intercropping. Third is crop rotation. The practice of growing a series of different types of crop in same field at sequential seasons is called crop rotation. Next is crop variety improvement. What is crop variety improvement? The growth and development of plants with better crop yield and disease resistance is called as crop variety improvement. In India, the bumper increase of food grains in 1970 was came to be known as Green Revolution. M.S. Swaminathan is known as the father of Green Revolution in India. Let's see what is the need for higher crop yield. Higher yield. The main reason of crop variety improvement is to increase yield. So, seeds of higher quality is used to increase yield, such as higher yielding variety of seeds. Second is improved quality. Quality of crops vary from crop to crop. For example, oil quality in oil seeds, protein quality in pulses, etc. Third is biotic and abiotic resistance. In different situations, plants suffer from biotic stress such as insects, disease, and sometimes abiotic stress such as drought, frost, waterlogging. So, if we develop crop varieties that are resistant to disease such as MUW 318, we can improve yield. Fourth is changes in maturity duration. In some of short duration crop such as vegetables, early maturing varieties can make the crop double and increase the profit of farmers. Fifth is photoinsensitivity and thermoinsensitivity. Most of plants are sensitive to certain abiotic factors such as light and temperature. Development of photoinsensitive and thermoinsensitive crop varieties will help in increasing yield, such as this mushroom cultivation. Sixth is desirable agronomic traits. If we develop those varieties of crop which contain desired agronomic trait, it will help in high yield. Seventh is wider adaptability. It is a term that is used to describe crops' ability under different environmental conditions. For example, ICPH 8 is a hybrid pigeon pea plant which takes a short time to mature, escapes disease and yield more than popular breed. In the next video, we are going to discuss about crop protection management and animal husbandry. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon.